It's a pleasure having everyone on board and joining us. We do this bi-weekly, not bi-monthly. So every 2 weeks, we have a lecture. We invite notable guests to let us know what's happening. And we found that with Eugene, he's always letting us know what's on the bleeding edge of DeFi. And the world usually catches up on months and months later to what some of the concepts discussed here. So thank you very much. I think this will be quite enjoyable. And please throw your questions in the thread chat and Eugene will attend to them. So I understand with L2 is, I can explain it from a user's point of view, right? How I see it is, this is either side chains or, built on Ethereum that allow transactions to be recorded at high speed with low fees, and to enable somehow mass adoption of DeFi, right? And that's a problem it's trying to solve with high gas fees on the mainnet and all that kind of thing. So we've seen L2 solutions like Polygon, Matic. I think Factom is also an L2 solution. And we're seeing an entire ecosystem growing out of it. Oracle is on L2, AMMs on L2, those kind of things. So that's how I see it. So I think we've touched in our own sessions on how to migrate your assets from L1 to, from mainnet to layer 2. But I'm excited to see how the additions Eugene add onto this conversation. So when it comes to DeFi, I know there might be a good number here who are coming across this for the first time, for the very, very first time. And I remember when myself and David, who we collaborate a lot on these things, when we're coming across it for the first time, it was actually quite intimidating, and never prepared with the amount of learning that you have to do in DeFi. At first, you think, no, it's just another side of crypto. But once those layers start to peel, you understand this is a much bigger movement, and the learning curve, unfortunately, is quite steep, right? But if you put in the time, I promise you it's quite rewarding as well. And I think I'm speaking for DeFi heads here. I know a good number of people who are living off of this right here in our country, also in other parts of Africa. So DeFi enables you to, participate in finance solutions on chain, right? Same finance solutions you'd have outside in traditional finance, right? So banking, borrowing, lending out, those kind of things. But now, the ecosystem is quite fragmented, and you have to learn and do things manually. So that's where that steep curve comes in. So I don't know if Eugene, you're ready.
Yeah. I've had to spend that gas to actually get that money.
You let us know how we can pitch in if that's required, and we'll
no, it's fine. I can survive.
Awesome. So you may share your screen, Eugene, and also maybe introduce yourself to the many people. I think we just hit 100 participants. We are about to. We're here. Let them know who you are and take over. I want to mute myself, mute David, and just let you do your thing.
Yes, Eugene, welcome. Take it from here.
Okay, cheers. Okay. Thank you, everybody who's joining, for the opportunity to actually take you through DeFi. I was just complaining to David right now about the gas fees that I had to use to get some capital. I didn't have capital to use because all the other capital I have is, let's say, doing work, which I'm about to show you, like how exactly some of them is actually doing work. So let me share my screen. No, yeah. Okay, no, not this one. So first of all is, I think I have some capital in my wallet now. it didn't make sense to borrow a small amount, so I borrowed a big amount, so don't be shocked. I literally borrowed from Ethereum, but I'll show you actually how you can do that from layer 2. I mean, the biggest issue right now is gas fees. Like, honestly, like gas fees on Ethereum is not usable by especially people in Africa at all. Like, I've had to like burn a lot of gas right now. So I'm going to show you why layer 2s actually matter in the first place, and why I think layer 2s are the best solutions. Right now, it's very hard to get into layer 2, as I'm going to demonstrate right now. But I think eventually this should be straightforward, as companies or just people just find ways to move people to layer 2 without passing through Ethereum, or maybe just from like Binance Exchange to like Matic directly, because that's not a possibility right now. I'll try to figure out other ways, but right now the one I know is just passing through Ethereum. And since I don't use Ethereum that much nowadays, I've only had to do it once or twice to actually get it done. And then after that, you just like on layer 2 is just doing other stuff. Of course, you're a bit limited. There's a lot more systems built on Binance chain, and also built on, what is it called? Ethereum. So I don't know which one specifically. I want to use Matic today because I think Matic is the most cheapest. You won't have to care about any transactions ever. Compared to Binance, which like transactions are slightly more expensive. They'll cost you between 50 cents to $1. Still cheaper than Ethereum, because right now, for example, like this specific transaction right now costed me $8, as you see here. It's painful, yes, I agree. It's just that I'll find other ways to pay for it through yield farming. And I'm just sacrificing this specifically just to get guys going. So this is a good example. Like I was trying to find a capital from somewhere, and so I had to borrow like from somewhere, and then like it costed me $8 to actually finalize that transaction. This is not user friendly. Like this is painful, honestly. It's very painful. So like what we're going to do is I'm gonna stop using Ethereum completely at this point in time. And since a few applications that are in layer 1 Ethereum right now are in layer 2, we're just gonna migrate from the Ethereum layer 1 to layer 2. So to understand layer 1, I'll just take you roughly first to my Etherscan, not Etherscan, but what is it called? What was I supposed to do? So I have, this specific wallet here. So I have roughly, I think this one, I have 5,000 DAI, which is roughly $5,000. I'm supposed to migrate it to, what is it called? The layer 2 solution. So I'm gonna just do a test with this one. Hopefully layer 2, there's nothing wrong with it. So we're just gonna try and move funds. We're moving funds to the Matic layer 2 solutions. There are a couple of layer 2 solutions. Let me just point them out in CoinMarketCap. So the first one is, let me just scroll. So this one, the first one is Matic here, which has grown exponentially. I think yesterday it was $1. So right now I think it's 1.66, and it's probably going to, I don't know how much it's going to, honestly, but it's been gaining a lot of traction because everybody is moving to it, because it's just cheaper to use, honestly. So this is like the new, for example, BNB. So BNB is great to use, but it's starting to become slightly more expensive because of congestion. But Matic does not face the same issue. Even if it's congested, it will always keep up with the transactions and everything else. There's another one just slightly below it. What is it called? I forgot. I think it's the name is Phantom. This one, Phantom. So Phantom is another layer 2 solution, but today I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use Matic, because I think Phantom and Matic are pretty much similar in so many ways. And I think just Matic is good enough. And also Phantom ecosystem hasn't gotten enough applications built on top of it to actually get a full demonstration of it. So you're just going to move to Matic right now. So I'll use wallet.matic.network to migrate to it. So the first thing I have to do is use a website called chainlist.org. Chainlist.org will give me a number of layer 2, configurations that I can add to my MetaMask wallet. In this case, I'm using MetaMask. So I'm using my laptop. I don't know why it's not typing. Just a second. I think it's metamask.io, something like that. Yeah, this one. So MetaMask has 2 versions of the wallet. It has the browser-based wallet. And yeah, so it has the browser-based wallet, the iOS app, and the Android app. Everything I'm doing from the browser right here, what you're seeing, you should be able to do with the application in some sense, yes. So like right now, you just go here, you install MetaMask from Chrome. And then once you install MetaMask from Chrome, you'll have this extension here that is actually up and running. This is the technically having an Ethereum wallet that you can actually use to access these decentralized applications, just using it. It will tell you how many assets you have, whatever assets you have. It will also tell you like all the activities you have. Now, when you have money in Binance, you just copy this, you copy your address, and then you withdraw to this address. Once you withdraw to the address, you'll see that, for example, if you're withdrawing Ethereum, you'll find Ethereum into your address. It will take some time, maybe 10 to 30 minutes. Then after that 10 to 30 minutes, you're good. Like you'll have the money in your address. Also, only withdraw assets that are compatible with Ethereum. So either Ethereum itself or assets that are ERC20. So usually when you're withdrawing it from Binance, you'll see an option there like this ERC20. So if you're withdrawing to ERC20, it will always end up into this specific address wallet. So for example, like you can see here, a few here and there, like here, like Night Connect is ZRX and whatever. So if you buy ZRX from Binance and then you withdraw it, you'll find it, you'll just end up in your wallet here and so forth. Okay, so this is my wallet of choice. I don't think there's one better, honestly. There's another one called Wallet Connect, but I mean, for the last 4 years, I've just been using MetaMask. It's served the purpose. I think it's way more advanced. So now, something about layer 2 solutions is they are technically Ethereum, but built differently. That's why they're called layer 2 solutions, because they're just built on top of Ethereum. So what happens is they have a very different, slightly different configuration. So in this case, I'd go search for Matic, and then I'd click this, add it to my wallet. Then you'd see that here, allow this site to switch the networks and so forth. So right now, mine is already added. So it just tell me switch to it. But when you add it, you'll find here, for example, okay, so this is your address. These are other wallets. This small icon like gives you access to other wallets that you actually have. You can click unlimited. So for example, I can add another one here. I can say, for example, a new one. Then I create it. Then you'll see that I have another address here. And then there's here, just next to it is the Ethereum mainnet. When you add it, you'll find it added here. So for example, here I have Polygon Matic network. So like Chainlist is where you actually want to add any layer 2 solution. Even this Binance chain, I think if I type Binance, you'll see it. Binance, yeah, here you see Binance chain smart chain wallet. So if you don't have it, you'll just add it for you. So for now, it's mine is already added. So it's telling me to switch to it. So I don't want to switch to it because I still have to be in the Ethereum mainnet address to move the funds that I'm actually using. Okay, so now from here, all I just have to do is click this button here, move funds to Matic network. Then in this case, I'll search for what I'm trying to move. So this is DAI, the DAI stablecoin. DAI is a stablecoin. This is like it's dollars basically. I'm moving dollars from one address to the other. I'll click transfer. I'll say continue, and you'll see the gas prices. It's just annoying, honestly. So you see here, like it's $11 for the gas price to move, and then $36 to what is it called? To complete the deposit. So roughly, it's gonna cost me roughly $45, which is like $50 to migrate. But once I migrate, I should be good. Like it should be just done. I don't know why I need to approve, but fine. And right now we're talking about this like when the gas prices are cheap. So for example, you can see here it's slightly cheap. It's not that it's slightly cheap. This is the gas now extension, which constantly tells me what the gas price is. So right now it's not so bad, but it's still expensive. It's just annoying. So we'll have to let it approve first. Once it approves, then we can now move the funds. So just a second. So I can actually view the transaction from Etherscan and just watch it approve. It should be faster than 5 minutes, I think. I don't know why it's taking that long. So this is a good demonstration, just showing like how Ethereum right now is just almost unusable for like people from specifically Africa and Asia. I think Americans can easily pay these transactions. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't think everybody can actually. And that's why like Binance Chain picked up really quickly. And that's why even Matic right now is picking up really quickly. The main reason why mostly people don't like Binance Chain is because it's kind of centralized. It's controlled entirely by Binance. So meaning they can technically freeze your money in that specific chain at any point in time. So this is taking slightly longer. Let me just try fasten it up. So you can, which one? I think it was doing this one. So this should be slightly quicker, hopefully. Yeah, less than 2 minutes. So we'll just wait for it to go. Oh yeah, so that's why I was saying like Binance, that's why Binance Chain like picked up really quickly, but also if you're really into the principle of decentralized finance, okay, yeah, there, it's approved. Okay. So now once it's approved, I'm not sure if this register is approved. But if I re-enter, okay, just a second. If I re-enter it, let me just reload. Okay, so wait, am I using the wrong address? Oh yeah, oh, I thought. Okay, so Max transfer. It should now technically tell me like this approved. I've approved it, so technically it's just it should go straight to deposit. If it tells me, yeah, exactly. So let's just deposit. I have insufficient funds. Let's see. What do you mean I have insufficient funds? Oh yeah. Okay. So this is the last step we technically have to take. So I'll just bite the bullet and just deposit it. So I'm just counter checking if the transaction is gone. So around less than 2 minutes. So once I do this, it should appear in Matic in the next 5-10 minutes, honestly. I hope it doesn't take that long. Usually it's almost instant. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now it should tell me, yes, I have moved my money into Matic. So now how do I check this? So once we've moved this, I just close this. Let me just close this. And then I just click my wallet. I change my network to Matic, Polygon Matic here. Once I change my network to Polygon Matic, it should pop up here anytime soon. So right now it's not there yet. So we'll just give it a bit time. Another website I can actually just go to quickly is the one we can start with is quickswap.exchange. Okay, so now yeah, it's connected. Okay, there you go. So now I just put on DAI, and then I think I have to wait for a few transactions before it actually confirms. Just do like a couple of confirmations, 4 confirmations. So the total cost is roughly, I think it costed me around $40 to move it. But after that, I don't think I have to ever face or use it Ethereum again, because that was expensive. And it's not like, imagine like if you want to spend time doing a couple of transactions on Ethereum. So in a day, you can easily burn through like $300 to even $500, and that's just not like, it's just not user friendly for like developing nations and people who want to, for example, like move around $100 or $200 or even just $5. It doesn't make sense. How would you spend another $500 moving $500? It's just not capital friendly. So I'm just trying to check if it's moved. What will actually be going through right now. Okay, so this is QuickSwap. QuickSwap is the same thing as Uniswap. So I think many people know Uniswap, this one. So QuickSwap is generally the same thing as Uniswap. As you see, they almost have the same interface. So it's just generally an exchange platform. What do we mean an exchange platform is you can take one as, for example, I have a bit small Matic here. I think I have key also. So for example, I have Matic here and I have some key. I think, let me just use key as an example. So if I had key and I want to sell some key for like Matic or DAI, so I just select the tokens I actually want to sell for. For example, I want to trade from one token to the other. Think of key of like any token you have, honestly, that is supported by the Matic network. So if I sell one key, and I'll show you even the cheapness, you never really check it. So what I can do also, like if I check the transaction, Let me just go. Let me just check the transaction. If I check the transaction, by now it's already what is it called? Yeah, it's already successful. That's how fast Matic is. You saw like in Ethereum that I had to wait for like more than even sometimes 1 minute. So these transactions just immediately went through. And if you look at the transaction fees here, let me just lighten it a bit. If you look at the transaction fees here, this is transaction fees. You see what it costed me. So this is, I don't know, this is like 2 pennies. That's like usually one. This is 1 cent. Yeah, it's less than 2 pennies, honestly. But pretty much you can neglect it. So if you look at my Matic wallet, you'll see that I only have literally I only had 1 Matic. And that 1 Matic just serves my wallet. Like I don't have to have any extra Matic. So like right now, for example, I can just sell the Matic back. So like in QuickSwap, let me sell like 1 point something, 1.5, and then I'll definitely have like a lot less. What is it called? I'll definitely have a lot less Matic left, and that specific small amount of Matic will allow it to work. So I'll just confirm the transaction again. And it should just update automatically. I'm not sure if my DAI has arrived. So let me just counter check if my DAI has arrived. Not yet. It's taking long. So that's just one good example. The other one I'm gonna go to is f dot yeah, this one. So Ev is a lending and borrowing platform. So I was hoping my DAI, I was hoping for my, what is it called? My DAI to arrive as fast, but it's taking a bit of time. So I'll just wait for it. Still not there. So let me see if I can take a few questions before. So what's my take on BSC? I think BSC is as good as Matic, honestly. But also I think I remember what's saying that what is it called? Because it's kind of centralized, it's run entirely by one company. People are afraid to use it because it doesn't stand exactly for decentralization. It's a decentralized platform. Yes, I agree. But the problem is you cannot enter and exit BSC at your own will. What are the main challenges on layer 2? So you cannot enter Binance chain at your own will. And that's why like Matic is picking up. There are days that you want to leave the Binance chain back to Ethereum, or you want to leave the Binance chain to Matic or another chain. One, it doesn't allow you to do that easily. I don't know. I think, I don't know, maybe it's political or something like that. People say it's political in the sense that like Binance is trying to control that ecosystem. And then the second thing is also sometimes they freeze funds and they say like the bridge is not usable. They tell you like the bridge won't be usable for the next 3 or 4 hours. And maybe you needed to move that funds back to Ethereum to do something else with them. So you end up at that chain for a period of time. And I think that's why people love Matic, because Matic is just stands for decentralization. So it's completely decentralized and it's easily, I mean, you can move funds in and out. Of course, you can say, for example, like hackers eventually, if they hack systems and find the money to hack the system, they can actually move the funds in and out whenever they want to. And that's exactly what decentralization stands for. Freedom of movement doesn't matter if you hack something or you didn't hack something. There's freedom of moving your money, using your money, borrowing from it anytime you want without without caring. Let me just counter check if it's arrived. So I'll just click here and see if it's here. I mean, the only challenge for layer 2 solutions right now is entry and exit. When I say entry and exit, as you see, it's costed me roughly, I think, $40 and probably slightly more. Maybe like we're talking about like over $100 just to get into it. I don't know why it's not connecting. Oh, it's connected. But why is it saying connect?
So Eugene, as maybe as you wait, we have a few questions that came in through email. So maybe I can read them out to you.
Yes. I might just look for some funds somewhere because if this one, that would be just a pure waste. Just be a pure waste. It hasn't been moved. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's like maybe 50. I think it needs like 50 confirmations. So let's see. Yeah, you can I can take 1 or 2 more questions before these funds actually arrive.
All right. So the first one.
Oh yeah, they've arrived.
All right, great.
But yeah, so should I take the questions or just move on to demonstrate?
Yes, please proceed. I think we can we can ask them later. Just proceed.
Okay, so the funds are here at least. So it took like 10 minutes roughly. Yeah. So I'll just close these ones. Probably I'll just close all of these other ones. Then just go through them one by one. Okay. So now the first platform I think I want to take you through was this one, polygon.curve.fee. This is the same thing as Uniswap, but the difference is that it only swaps between stable coins. So like right now I have DAI. Yes, there's a number of usages for DAI. But I want to use, like, for example, maybe I wanted just to change from DAI to what is it called? To USDC. So as you can see here, it will cost me roughly around $3 to swap from one another, but it's really a small fee compared to the entire massive amount. For example, if it was just $1,000, you'd see that it only cost me like less than 50 cents to actually swap from it to the other one. So remember, like, these platforms are generally trying to generate revenue. They're offering services to generate revenue for it. So this is a swapping. It's a site to swap physically from one stablecoin to the other. Currently in Matic, there are 3 supported stablecoins. So there's USDC, there's USDT, and then there's DAI, of course, the one now I've actually migrated. So for example, if I just wanted to swap the $1,000, I just say sell here. Usually don't have to care about so much here right now. So you just click sell. And your wallet will pop up. Remember, like, the gas fees is just almost negligible. So I don't even have to counter check it. I'll just like move on. Remember that I have like literally 1.3 Matic in my wallet. So it means that like this is even more than enough to serve like all the transactions. 1.3 Matic right now, I think that's like roughly I have like $2 in my address. I can even actually go and do like other like silly stuff and even reduce the amount of Matic just to swap it to in another currency in QuickSwap. So Polygon.curve for fee is for swapping stablecoins. As you see, for here, I had 5,000 DAI. So it's been one has been swapped to I have 1,000 in what is it called? I have 1,000 in USDC now, and then I have 4,000 in DAI right now. So this is one example. So you'll find yourself having situations where you need to swap from one currency to the other, and in this case we're talking about stable coins. So either DAI, USDT, or USDC. So now this platform specifically is built to swap from one stable coins to the other, meaning that it reduces the amount of what is it called? Slippage that you actually take. The algorithm we've actually built into the blockchain is built to reduce the amount of slippage that your stablecoins will face. Because when you use platforms like QuickSwap to do the exact same swap, you'll see that you'll actually like lose slightly more. So where's the USDC? Yeah, here's the USDC. Here's the DAI. So if I put here the full amount, you'll see what has happened. So you see, I've lost, I think I'll lose, this is $5. I'll lose roughly like $5 compared to like here, when I swapped using, let me just move this. So when I swapped using car finance here, or what actually happened is that, what is it called? I only lost like $1. And that dollar is just the fee that I actually have to give this specific swapping mechanism to actually use that service. Because of course they have to charge you. It's not entirely free. So this is specifically built to swap stable coins. QuickSwap, on the other hand, is built to swap across different tokens. So for example, here, I can swap to Matic tokens. If, like, for example, if I ran out of Matic, I can just click here and swap to Matic tokens and then and back to Matic and so forth. Or even I can swap to Ethereum. I think they have Ethereum. Yeah, they have Ethereum. So I can sell, I can sell the $1,000 for Ethereum. The problem here is Ethereum is not that usable. But I think it's one good example to use, honestly, for like lending and borrowing. So let's say in the wallet.matic bridge, you can actually move your Ethereum from just like what's it called? You can just use the Ethereum. You can move the Ethereum from what's it called? From the Ethereum mainnet, chain to actually to your what is it called? To your Matic network chain. So right now I don't have any Ethereum. I'm using Matic because I don't technically have Ethereum, but it's one good example that I should be able to use to actually go and like land here. So here I've swapped $1,000 to from DAI to USDC. So here I just want to swap this entire amount also to like Ethereum. So that's the two major key differences between those two platforms. Curve is specifically focused for swapping stable coins, and then QuickSwap is just focused on swapping from one token to the other. It doesn't matter which one you're swapping across, but it's not optimized for stable coins. So now I have some Ethereum here. So technically I have like $1,000. You see how pretty fast it is, right? Because I've already swapped Ethereum. Even the interface is slower. The interface is technically slower than what is it called? Than the swap itself. So now I have 0.25 Ethereums in my address, which is like roughly $1,000 worth of Ethereum. Where is it? It should be somewhere here. I don't know why it hasn't updated. Anyway, it's not showing up here, but at least I know I have $1,000 of Ethereum here. So what I'm gonna go to is EV. So I'll just go back to the homepage for EV, and EV is a lending and borrowing platform. So reminder, EV is a lending and borrowing platform. So how exactly does it work? So I'm just gonna take you through it and like show you an example of how exactly it works. So remember the Ethereum I had. So for example, I have $1,000 worth of Ethereum, and I need money. For example, like in the real world, or like to do something else in the ecosystem, right? So what actually is, I do not want to sell my Ethereum. I just want to use it technically. I mean, I just want to like get money from it. So what happens is I'll scroll through here and see, oh, that if I actually lend out my Ethereum, I can borrow against it. So when I click this one, you'll see that it acknowledges that I actually have 0.26, the Ethereum that I actually had. So I can actually deposit it here. So I can take just the maximum amount and deposit here and approve. So I just approve it. Remember, the transactions are just pretty much negligible. So we'll never look at the transactions likely. I think that's the last time I'll actually say that statement. But just remember, like, you don't even have to look at the transactions here. Okay, so now I've deposited it. So now if you go to my dashboard here, you'll see that I have roughly almost $1,000 deposited. Now I can borrow against it. So for example, if I wanted to, I can borrow any of these assets here. I can either borrow Matic, I can either borrow DAI, USDC, USDT, WETH, or even Bitcoin, if I want to use Bitcoin. In this case, for example, we'll just go back and borrow a small amount of USDC. So remember, you can borrow up to this one, but you want to reduce your risk, because if Ethereum keeps dropping in price and hits like $700 or like this $800, you're going to be liquidated. What does liquidation mean? The system will sell your Ethereum for the amount of USDC owed. So for example, I want to watch this out. I'll just only borrow, for example, probably 500. So 600, I think is good. Yeah, 600 is fair. I can go up to 700. Let me see. But it should tell me, okay, that's riskier. So 600 is fair. Yeah. So let me borrow $600. So there's only one variable APY. So they'll tell me like I'll be charged 3.98. What is it called? 3.98% in the money I've borrowed. So I'll just say yes, borrow, and confirm. So once I confirm, it should be able to take me back to my dashboard. The transaction should just like finalize right now. Then it should take me back to my dashboard. Now, if you look at my dashboard right now, I have the $1,000 in Ethereum that I actually deposited, and it's actually earning 1% per year in more Ethereums. So technically, my Ethereum will keep going up in So if you see here where I've highlighted it, you'll see that the numbers at the end are actually changing. So let me just zoom in a bit. If you see here, you can see the numbers at the end are actually changing. So technically, immediately I deposited it, it started earning the 1.8% APY. So you can see at the ends, it's at this point, it's like I'm earning cents. It's just adding cents to it. But also it's the same thing that is happening to my what is it called, to the borrowed amount. If you see here at the end, the numbers are changing. So meaning that every time I have this debt running, the interest rate for the debt is accruing. Then there's this lower part where we have 2.4%, 2.45% APR, and then it has the Matic logo. And also at the bottom, we have in the borrowed amount, we have 6.6% Matic tokens. So this means that by using this specific platform in this lending and borrowing way, I'm actually earning from it. I'm earning on top of earning 1.8% in Ethereum, I'm actually earning 2.45% in what is it called, Matic token. So if you look at here at the top corner, you'll see that actually right now, just as I deposited it, I've actually earned 0.10 Matic, and I can claim it anytime we want. This number will also keep going up the more I hold this position. So we'll just come back to it, and then you'll see these numbers this number at the end here will have changed. Now the beauty of this is the USDC that I actually borrowed, as long as I come back and pay it back, I'll pay back with, like, for example, like right now I have to pay back 6,000 and, like, I don't know, 9 pennies, like something like that. But let's say if I come back and it's like 6,002 USDC. The beauty is I've also earned Matic on top. So meaning I can sell some Matic because I'm technically earning more than I'm actually losing. So I'm losing 4% per year at the $600, but I'm also gaining 6.6% in Matic tokens, which is just beautiful. Like, where are you actually paid? Like, where in the world are you actually paid for borrowing money? And you're paid actually more in interest than actually the interest rate that you're actually incurring. So for example, I'm being charged 4% interest rate within the year, but I'm also earning, I'm being charged 4% interest rate in the year, but I'm also earning literally 6.62% in Matic. So meaning that I can technically just even use my Matic tokens to offset the interest rate that I'm actually supposed to pay out. So right now I'm technically earning, if you look at this, I'm earning 2%, at least 2% more. So basically the 6.6% minus 4. So roughly 2.62% more. So this is like literally beautiful. So now I'll leave this position to stay here for a while and then go to some other platforms. So we'll try and find use cases for the 600 USDC. So I'll just go back to QuickSwap. The USDC that I actually had, I'll just swap it for Matic. Let's say for Matic. Hopefully the prices don't fluctuate that much and I lose some of this money from the prices. So I want to demonstrate another platform that is built on top of Matic. It's called My.Finance. Yeah, this one. I'm not sure. Yesterday it wasn't functional, so I hope today it's functional. Yeah, it is functional today. Okay, so I created, like, so My.Finance is pretty much what is it called? You can borrow from your Matic technically. So like you can use EV, which is here. Like if I go to like the markets, you can see that actually I can deposit Matic here and borrow against it too. But I want to use Mai to demonstrate yield farming. So this platform is just pretty new, honestly. Sometimes they are new, sometimes they're not new. So in this case, this platform is new. So what actually I want to do is I want to create a vault. So I'll just create a vault here. I'll click this vault. Actually I already, and then like create another one. So like, because it doesn't charge me anything, this should be like really quickly. Though I already had like a vault that I can actually use, but I'll just go use another one. I'll just create one and just show you the entire demonstration. So Mai is the same thing as, it's technically MakerDAO for, what is it called? It's technically MakerDAO for Matic, the Matic network. What is MakerDAO? MakerDAO is a platform in the Ethereum mainnet channel that actually allows you to borrow against your Ethereum. It was the first platform before lending platforms came out. So nowadays people either use the lending platforms or use MakerDAO. People still love using MakerDAO because the interest rate for MakerDAO is pretty low. So for example, in this platform, let me just go back to here and you'll see, what is it called? EV. If you see here, if I borrowed against my Matic, if I borrowed, for example, if I borrowed either USDT, USDC, or DAI, you can see the interest rates here are pretty high. So if for the Ethereum, I've actually locked, if I take you back to my dashboard, I'm paying 4% in interest rate in USDC. And this is just for Ethereum. For Matic, for example, so for Matic, I can do the same, but I'll still pay 4% within the year in the interest rate. For this vault, for the My Finance vault specifically, you do not pay any interest rate at this point in time. So you can actually technically borrow against it as much as you want. So I'll deposit most of it, just leave one DAI out for usage. Yeah. So I'll deposit it inside this vault. So I created a new vault. Then now from this vault, I can just deposit my Matic. And then I'll borrow against it, because borrowing against this one is a lot cheaper. So I should have deposited by now, I guess, right? Let's just wait. Should have deposited by now, I guess. Now, when you deposit inside this specific vault, it's the last vault here. So we got here. Here it is. It's actually deposited. So now you can see that the $600 that I actually borrowed. Oh wait, I think Matic went up slightly. It's 613. Okay, yay me. So 613. I have 613 collateral value. So I can actually borrow against it. It will tell me how much the maximum amount I can borrow against it. But remember, you want to watch out for your collateral debt ratio. Your collateral debt ratio should never hit 150. At 150, they'll actually sell your Matic for what is it called? They'll sell your Matic for the stable coin that you actually borrow. In this case, this platform stable coin is called, I think this platform stable coin is called it's called Mimatic, something like that, Mimatic. So I want to demonstrate something different. I could have used a different account for this. I don't know if I can roll it back because because there's something. Okay, let me just unwind this fast back. Then I want to show something different. So what I'll just do, I'll manage withdraw the entire amount. Then I'll send the entire amount to a different address, because this address I think has already things going on. So I'll just send funds to this address. This is the one I've actually this one. So I think I should have withdrawn. Let me just let it update. Yeah, there you go. So I'll send the funds to the new address. This one, no, actually, cancel. So I'll just send, transfer between my accounts, the new one that I actually created, all of it except one Matic. Next, confirm. That should send it in a jiffy. Then I can change to this specific account. So if I change to where is it? This one, the new one. Connect. So we just wait for the Matic to arrive. Should take a few seconds. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now the Matic has arrived in this new wallet. So this address is completely fresh, so it doesn't have any vaults created to it. So what I'll do is I'll create a new vault for it. So just a few seconds, because I wanted to demonstrate it. The other wallet would have kind of confused you. So this is an entirely new wallet. So I've sent my Matic to this new address. I'm creating a new vault. Then I'll deposit the Matic that I've actually I have. So 363. Just all of it. Then I -1 for transactions. 2. Okay, so now just a few seconds, it deposits it, then we borrow like against it. Now this platform specifically, when you borrow against it, it will give you a stable coin, but it won't be either USDC or USDT. It's called Mimatic. It's a bit confusing, yeah, I agree. But just consider Mimatic like this it's called like Mimatic. This is dollars. So the stable coin has a name called Mimatic, but it's technically a dollar. So if you go here at the top here, you'll see that it's currently slightly higher than the normal dollar rate because of certain mechanisms it uses to balance between the amount collateralized. So like the total amount collateralized in this platform versus the total amount borrowed will always calibrate the current price of that specific dollar. So right now, we're pretty in the early stages. As I said, this platform is pretty new. So what actually happens is you'll notice that the Mimatic dollar ratio is slightly higher. So it's 6.3% higher but it still behaves like the dollar. So we'll try and avoid liquidation. So I'll just borrow slightly below it unless something happens to the market while I'm doing this. So now I've deposited my Matic and now I'm borrowing against it. Remember, the reason why I'm borrowing against this platform is because oh no, I'm not borrowing. I think it's already borrowed. I think I have it in my wallet. Let me just counter check. Oh, actually, I can't see it here, but I should be able to see it somewhere. Let me just go back to QuickStep. Okay, so add it. Yeah, I should be able to see it. Oh, it still hasn't loaded up. Oh no, it's connected with the wrong wallet. Sorry. How do I disconnect this? I need to disconnect this. Yeah, connect. So I should be, here it is. I should be able to see it. So right now, for example, when I borrowed against my Matic, remember the reason why I'm borrowing through this vault is this this specific vault system doesn't have any interest rate. So meaning it's slightly better than this one, the FF one. So to some degree, basically, meaning that I'll just have to pay back the $300 I've borrowed, and not pretty much what is it called? Incur any interest rate from it. And that's why that's the reason why some people will end up like deciding to use this to deposit their Matic and borrow against it. Now, this amount of money I've borrowed, my Matic is not technically usable in the real world. So somewhere I'll have to swap it back to what is it called? USDC. Then once I swap it back to USDC, I can deposit it back to Binance and then sell it in the P2P section back to cash, wherever I am. Either sell it back to Naira or sell it back to what is it called, Kenya shillings, if I want to use like real cash. That's another entire process because of course you have to use the Matic bridge, go back to Ethereum, and then like send it from Ethereum to what is it called, to your Binance address. Inside your Binance address, and then from your Binance address you can like use the P2P section to actually swap it between. But what I really wanted to demonstrate here was the reward section. So Mimatic is a pretty new platform, so it's incentivizing people to actually earn tokens, to earn tokens from it. I think I need to connect to the different address. So now I borrowed the MAI, and then the MAI I've actually borrowed. They're telling, so if you use the platform well, you learn that you can actually go to this platform and deposit your Mimatic token. So if I approve this one first, let me just approve this one really quickly, and then deposit my Mimatic tokens. Remember, Mimatic is stablecoins, so it's dollars. So I technically hate the name because it doesn't really keep reminding you it's dollars. So you have to technically remind yourself you have $300 in form of Mimatic tokens. Maybe they'll change it in the future, who knows? But for now, just keep in mind the Mimatic, the tokens that I have is like dollars. So now if I deposit them here, I can deposit them either. Okay, so there are two ways I can do it. I can either split it into a half and deposit them here. I want to take you through this because this is actually adding a liquidity pool, but I'll do it with the other amount of money I have. So, but right now, we'll just take the $300 of Mimatic tokens we actually have, confirm. So this is just depositing them. What I really want to demonstrate here is like a form of staking or earning the key tokens. So this platform specifically has two tokens. The one that you actually, the Mimatic tokens that you actually, borrow to actually go and use to do anything else with it. And then it has its own governing token. What do I mean by governing tokens? All the decentralized platforms or decentralized platforms in either Ethereum or Matic have tokens that actually allow people to govern it. There are places the more tokens you have, the more, you can say, the more power you have in directing how the platform moves to. So for example, if they're trying to make version 2, you can submit proposals, or you can reject proposals by just voting with how much, key tokens you have. So in this platform, their tokens are called key. In Ethereum, where we have MechaDAO, their tokens are called MKR, MechaDAO tokens, pretty much. And then their stablecoin is called DAI. The one actually I used it. I used to actually transact here in Matic. So now here, once I deposited this, you'll see in real time, technically, I'll start earning the key tokens. So I'll just leave it here for a bit, and you'll see that the numbers will just constantly keep going up. So if I leave it for here for like a month, I'll come back and find myself maybe having, let's say, I don't know. So there's a tool I usually use to actually like kind of just predict. You can say predict. So I hope, yeah, it's connected. No, it's connected to the wrong one. I need to connect it with this. Okay, so it's connected to the right address. Okay, there you go. So this it's a bit gibberish, but just pay attention to the bottom. So here at the bottom, it will tell me that you are staking a total of $315 at an average APR of 350%. So my estimated daily earnings for the $300 is $3 per day. Oh, actually that's high. Okay, that's nice. So technically, the key tokens I'm earning will I think the key tokens right now, I think it's $2.3 each. So the key tokens I'm earning will definitely technically translate to $3 per week, no, per day. And then $21 per week and 1,001. Okay, that's actually a lot. So it means that I'll actually earn 3 times this amount of tokens. Now, the risks here is that my Matic will if prices fluctuated and this collateral debt ratio went down. So if, for example, if my Matic went below, if Matic got to $1.24 while I was in this position, I'd get liquidated here. Here, technically, I would still keep the $300, but what you fear from liquidation is usually there's a fee, there's like a liquidation percentage fee. So the liquidation percentage fee is, for example, I don't know, in Mecca DAO, it's like 10% or 13%, meaning that out of the $600, I'll lose 10% of it, I think is $60. So I'll lose $60 from like the entire liquidation, and also $300 worth of Matic will be sold for $300 worth of this token, like the Mimatic tokens or the dollars. What happens is I'll end up being left with less than, I think, $250, $240, but I'll also still have the 300 Mimatic tokens. So technically, if you add that up, I'll have 540. So in this sense, I'll lose $60 if I end up being liquidated here. So this is a very small amount. So think about if you've locked up like something like if you lock up $6,000, you lose $600. If you lock up $10,000, you literally lose $1,000. So that's usually the fear people usually have in using like this lending and borrowing platforms. And it's usually advised to use them and always maintain like your ratio high. So 204 is not so bad, but usually you want it to be around 250 or 300. Where like if the prices fluctuate heavily, you'll always be like in the system. So I think I borrowed slightly more. Or you can just do is just pay back. Like I can go here to pay back, like withdraw it from here and pay back as soon as the prices. If I see the prices going low for my Matic tokens, I'll just take these dollars out, go here and repay them back, and then like the ratio will go up, meaning that I will reduce the chances and the risks of me actually being liquidated. Being liquidated is the same thing in the real life as where you fail to pay your debt, and people come for your car, your TV, your sofa set, and whatever to auction them out to get their money back. It's exactly the same thing. The only difference here is it's completely automated. It's happening on a blockchain level. So like if I go back here, oh yeah, you see what's happened. So we moved from 0.001 to 0.004. So the more we leave this position to stay open, the more we're actually earning from it. And then once you're done, like, let's say like once you're done, you can just take the, what is it called? You can withdraw your, what is it called? Your dollars, the Mimatic tokens, which represent basically the dollars you borrowed. Go back here, repay, go back here, withdraw your, what is it called? Your Matic tokens, send them back to the other address, and then swap them, pay back the $600, and then you reverse the entire thing. So that's how complicated and technically everything can get, and how everything actually affects each other. So while this one is actually doing its job, so we'll come back here and like withdraw whatever we can withdraw technically. I just want to do another demo on like a separate platform. Now, if you remember this platform, I said this platform is specifically for swapping stable coins. So for example, being able to swap the DAI I have left here to what is it called? To like USDC or USDT. Now, below it here, you'll see something here. You see pools. So pools is pretty much how this platform is enabled to work. The beauty about decentralized financial platforms is they do not supply the, do not, for example, like something like M-Pesa or cheaper cash. Like, cheaper cash is a bit different. Something like M-Pesa. Not technically. I'm trying to think. Okay, so let me try explaining this sense. So this platform allows people to trade across one stable coin to the other. But how it works is it allows also people to deposit their money into pools to allow the system to actually function. So if I click this here at the pool here, you'll see that inside this pool, we have, what is it called? We have this 140 million. Yeah, we have 140 million in DAI deposited here. We have 132 million USDC. Let me just zoom up a bit. Deposited here. And then we also have 107 USDT deposited here. All this amount have been deposited by people like me. So that's why it's added up. So this is thousands of people who've come with different amounts of capital and deposited here. Why are they depositing here? One is to allow the platform to actually function. But will you just deposit it for free? No. What actually happens is you'll actually for all the amount which is being swapped across each other, you'll earn 0.04% part of the fee. So if I go just back here and just scroll at the bottom, you'll see that according to here, the base fee means that actually this is a lot. So daily, you're earning literally 10%. Actually, this is a lot. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. Oh, so daily, you're earning, at this point, you're actually earning 10.44% from the amount of money you've actually deposited. As you see here, this platform has a daily volume of 48 million. For 48 million, you remember when like for example, even right now, if I enter this amount here, you'll see that I'm being charged. They will take roughly, this is like around $2. The $2 is the fee I have to pay to swap between DAI to USDC. This fee is actually now being given back to these people who've actually deposited in this pool. Now, on top of it, from the fee they're actually earning, the $2 which is taken, or like the $1 or whatever amount you're actually being taken off from using this service, these people are actually earning that in fees. So at this point right now, the base fee is actually 10.44%. Then on the other side, you can see these rewards. So they're also being incentivized to actually deposit it, not only to earn the fees from the trading between either of those stable coins, but also you'll earn 42% worth of Matic tokens. So we'll just go and try here and deposit let's say the $1,000 worth of DAI that we have. So we'll just deposit here. Wait, this is not deposit. Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, this is depositing. So I'll just deposit my DAI here. Not maximum. I'll just add all coins in a balance portion. Nope. So I'll just deposit 1,000 here. So the thing is, you want to start earning from it. So you can't just deposit it. You have to deposit and stake it. So depositing will allow you, I think probably to earn the Matic tokens, but it won't allow you to earn the fees. So what you want to do is deposit and stake. So you click deposit and stake. And so that was deposit, then now it's staking. Yeah. So the first one is I had to approve because I've never interacted with this platform. Usually, like all platforms that if you've never used it before, you technically have to approve it. And then after approving, it will do the deposit. Then after doing the deposit, it will stake for you. So those 3 transactions that I actually validated were just like basically deposit and stake. So funny thing is actually I've never used this platform from this side. So I am not sure where to actually counter check things. Let's say if it will show me, yeah, see all my pools, yeah, here. Oh yeah, here. So my deposit is $1,000. Anyway, I think we'll just come back a few moments later to actually counter check. But we technically should have earned some small amount of fees and then some small amount of the WMatic tokens. So the W is just like wrapped Matic, which you can eventually go back to QuickSwap and then unwrap it. You can just swap it back to what is it called? Whatever you want. You can swap it back to Matic, or you can even swap it to what's it called? To dollars, whatever. Because, for example, maybe you don't want to. Where's this place? Yeah, maybe you just don't want to keep like the Matic. Maybe you just wanted money. Maybe you just wanted you're doing this for profit and not actually to earn the Matic tokens. I'm trying to see if I can go back to the dashboard. Let's see all pools. Let it load. Let me see if I can go to, oh yeah, my dashboard. Okay, yeah, nice. Okay, so this is what exactly I wanted to see. So right now, as we see, this is not it. I'm doing connect this one. So let me view this. Wait. Oh shit! I deposited using the the address. Oh, sorry. Let me just go back to it. And then I need to connect, I guess. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so from this you can see that let me just, it's too big a bit, yeah, here. So from this you can see is that, okay, they've given me like the best fee I'll actually earn, also the rewards I'll actually earn. Then it's saying that there's only one pool existing here. So now in this pool, we have 7 billion worth of transactions every day. Then my balance is $1,000. But now you can see here, I'll technically earn 0.26 US dollars, which is like 30 cents. I'll earn like 30 cents per day. But on top of it also, I'll earn 0.6, which is like, yeah, $1 a day. So I like the tooltip. It's telling me actually in dollars actually I'll earn. But technically I'll earn 0.68 WMatic per day. But also, what is it called? Let's see. If I want to sell it using, for example, QuickDex here, where I just can go back and swap it, I can convert it to dollars, and if I convert it to dollars, we have $1.14. And I think that's pretty much it. We can unwind these positions a bit later, or I can unwind them right now, but I let them just accrue the fees. So this is technically like whatever, like the two things I've demonstrated here. For example, this one, here for the rewards. Not this one. What is it called? Where is it? I need to connect this other. Yeah. So this one, for example, this one is what is it called? Depositing here and staking these tokens. This is also known as yield farming. This one here is also not known as yield farming, but the difference is they work a bit differently, as you've seen. This one you have to deposit your whatever, your Ethereum, your Matic, whatever, and then maybe borrow against it. You technically don't have to borrow against it, but borrowing against it is actually, if the percentages matter, meaning that you're actually earning more tokens than actually losing in percentage, it's a fair game. So when you deposit it here, you'll see that you actually start earning like in this case you're earning Matic tokens here. In the main Ethereum system, which is I think FF version 2, you'll earn EV tokens. So for example, what is it called? Not deposit, some markets. Yeah. You'll see that now the logos have changed here. Here where the logos have changed, you'll technically see that you're actually earning what is it called? This is EV tokens. So you'll earn, for example, from let's say the Ethereum we deposited. So okay, here it's a lot lower, which is more annoying. But I think Matic is better. Also, the fees are just, you can't use this system. It's just too expensive to use right now. So if you try and deposit, you'll see that, let's see, let me try and deposit 0.01. I have to change the network. You'll see that the fees is just incredibly a lot. Just 1 second. Okay. So if I try and click deposit, you'll see, yeah, it costs $110 to deposit. So this is just pretty much unusable, honestly. So you can't use it, honestly. So that's why, like, I went to, basically they have the same system built on top of Polygon, and you'll see that it's actually gained a lot of traction. So right now it has $4.4 billion like of capital inside it, and the other day it was like almost zero. So you can see that people are actually migrating to use this system. The difference is here, they haven't started like giving you, what is it called, EV tokens. So the only thing you can earn here is actually the Matic token. So the Matic platform were nice enough to incentivize people to start using this system, and that's why people were migrated to it, because it's cheaper to use, and you'll also, like, by using these platforms, you'll actually also earn Matic tokens. Also, if you see here, when I go back here, you see you also earn the Matic tokens. So the Matic system just allows people to actually earn from it. As I leave that to happen, so we'll give it maybe 5-10 minutes, then I can start taking questions for like parts or things that you actually haven't removed. I mean, for parts and probably you haven't understood.
Nice. So thank you very much, Eugene. Trying to still wrap my head around some of these things, but David, would you like to ask the questions via email? Then we'll come to the questions on the chat. Or do we do it the other way?
Yes. So we have some. So the ones on email, I think we can have them answered first. So the first question, Eugene, someone was asking, which platforms offer DeFi within Africa, Kenya?
Which platforms offer DeFi? I'm not in Kenya. I don't think there's any, honestly. I know of what is it called, Bitleaper, but they offer buying and selling of, like, basically Bitcoin, I think, and Ethereum, or maybe even stable coins. I haven't used the platform personally, but that's pretty much it. There's no actual platform that actually offers DeFi. What you need to do is, as I like the way I put it, like, pretty much is, what you need to do is buy the Ethereum. You have to move it. You have to move the Ethereum from the platform to your what is it called, your MetaMask wallet, this specific wallet here. And then once you move it to your wallet, what is it called? Let me just go back to Ethereum, man. You have to move your capital, either, because you can't use, I mean, as I said, Ethereum is unusable at this point in time. So what actually happens is that you have to move your funds to Matic. Then after Matic, now you can use the DeFi platforms. DeFi platforms exist. I don't know how to put this. DeFi platforms exist on the blockchain with interfaces that actually interact with it. Like, they do not work the same way as centralized platforms. Like, you know how you can have an app for a bank and so forth. The apps usually, for example, like this entire interface is interacting with the blockchain directly. Somebody else can create the same interface and it will interact also with the blockchain directly at the same way. I don't know how to put this. They're not, like, DeFi platforms are not accessible from the traditional point of view. For example, without this, like, Matic, without this address, let me show you a demonstration. If I opened like an incognito oh shit, I still have it working here. I should remove it. Let me remove it working from incognito. Okay, so if I go to let's see, I was trying to move this. Okay, so for example, if I go here and I tried like using this platform right now, like this is just like using a normal browser without the extension. If I try and click, and you see, like, it needs a wallet. So there's no browser wallet here. Here at the corner, if you see here, they're saying there's no browser wallet detected. Also, whatever network you put, they'll just tell you there's no browser wallet detected. It's because, like, this specific extension allows you to access what is it called? Allows you to access something known as Web3. So the current web we know is, we can call it Web2, and then Web3 is like the financial layer built on top of it. And to access this financial layer, you have to use this MetaMask wallet, either on your phone or in the browser. In the browser, it's an extension. In your phone, it's an app. Now, inside the app itself, the MetaMask app, you'll see it has a built-in browser. The built-in browser is used to access, I mean, it's used to combine, I don't know, it's kind of used to inject like your wallet inside the application itself. So let me just unlock this pretty, where is it?
On that note, Eugene, someone is asking, is it possible to buy Matic or Quick without going through Ethereum mainnet?
Matic, yes. Matic should be able to buy in Binance. So okay, basically, so let's go. Let me share the screen again. Where is this thing? Where is this thing? Where's Zoom? Okay, here. So just a second, let me share the screen. So this is the incognito screen. Let me just change the screen a bit. Where is it? I was supposed to share this one. Yes. So let me just close this. So to be able to know where you can actually buy like the tokens. So some tokens are actually even not accessible from the browser. So for right now for Matic, I think let me just if you type Matic and search it here in like on CoinMarketCap, there's a section here called, let's see, markets. So this markets, when you click on markets, it will technically tell you where you can actually buy all these funds from. So you can see here that you can actually buy from Uniswap. I think it's the 5th. It's like the 10th, 12th that has the volume. But most places right now people are buying from, it's either from Binance and Coinbase Pro. There's also Hobby, but usually I think with Binance you should be fine. I think Binance supports a lot of African nations, so you should be able just to buy from Binance. So what you do is just you buy USDT from the P2P section, move it to your main wallet, and then like you swap it, either using Liquid Swap or trading it from Matic to USDT. For Quick, if it's not listed in exchanges, then you're forced to buy from the areas that it actually you can buy from. So right now, if you look at the markets, it's actually gone up. So you can either buy it from Uniswap, and then the other exchange is Get.io, but because you can't technically access it from Africa directly, you have to go through Binance. So you have to technically you have to buy USDT from Binance, withdraw the USDT to your Get.io account. Then from there you can buy Quick and let it hold it there. Yeah, this creates like a level of fragmentation where like you have to always constantly keep what is it called? Like be aware where your tokens are. So you can find yourself, maybe you have tokens in Uniswap, like in your Ethereum address, you have tokens in an exchange called Get, you have tokens in an exchange called MXC. So one good way to be able to track them is using an application called Blockfolio. So Blockfolio is like a portfolio tracker. So whenever you do these purchases, you go and log it in Blockfolio, and you say, for example, I bought maybe $500 worth of Quick tokens in Get.io. So meaning whenever you look at your portfolio and you click it, to tell you, oh, these tokens are you actually bought them from Get.io. So they're technically maybe still in Get.io. So usually that happens a lot because you'll find yourself having like money in your Ethereum address, some money in Binance, some tokens in another exchange, because there are different places you can find these tokens. Not all tokens are available in the same locations. So I think that's answered one.
Yeah. The fragmentation bit is quite. I think we've experienced that ourselves.
Yeah, we are still in the early phases, so there's a lot of challenges and complications around it, but they're not hard to navigate.
Yeah, and I think also the question had the aspect of, is there a way to go or to avoid the migration from layer 1 to layer 2 in terms of, can you buy Matic and send directly to layer 2 without going through layer 1?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. The problem with the centralized exchanges, sometimes they kind of freeze the accounts, but you should be able to. So let me counter check this. I'm not certain. With some platforms you should be able to. With some platforms not.
I guess also the question is, would the platform charge you for that migration the same way if?
Yeah, it would charge you actually, because like for example, the only entry points currently we have are exchanges, and the best exchange entry point we have from here, okay, for me from Nairobi specifically, is either Bitlipa or for example Bitlipa or what is it called, Binance now, or even local Bitcoins or even Paxful, because once you buy from there, you can send your tokens to your Ethereum address. So the Ethereum address is the MetaMask. While when you install MetaMask for the first time, it will ask you to create a new address. It will give you the what is it called? The mnemonic phrase, basically your secrets. And then once you create it, and then you buy from decentralized places, which I said either Paxful, Binance, Bitlipa, local Bitcoins, whatever you're buying from. Remember, Bitcoin is not supported in the Ethereum channel, in Ethereum directly. So there are other ways to get Bitcoin into Ethereum. Or you can just buy Bitcoin. I think QuickSwap, for example, like QuickSwap supports. So you can either buy Matic or, for example, you can either buy Matic or switch to Matic. You can either buy Matic or Ethereum and then swap it for WBTC. This one. So this is like it's the W before it's called wrapped Bitcoin. So wrapped Bitcoin means like it's Bitcoin represented in the Ethereum network. But now if you buy Bitcoin from either from local Bitcoins or Paxful, that is the native version of Bitcoin. So do not send it directly to your Ethereum address. Keep in mind, do not send it directly to your Ethereum address. The Bitcoins you buy from Paxful, Binance, or whatever like centralized platform you use, do not send them directly to Ethereum. You will technically have lost that Bitcoin. So the other ways is just either buy Ethereum or USDT, send it to your Ethereum address, and then swap it, or maybe migrate to Polygon and then swap it from whatever your USDC, USDC to what is it called? Not this one. From either USDC to WBTC, and then now you can technically say you're holding your Bitcoin in your Ethereum address. As I said, Bitcoin could have just been a token on top of the Ethereum. Ethereum has so much powerful use cases. So as I said, like you have to use centralized systems to get into like Ethereum, and then from Ethereum to Matic. I mean, that's the sad part right now, honestly, but eventually you should be able, I think the next few months, remember I keep telling people we're still very early. And like when I say things like this, then you see why it's actually very early. You should be able to actually buy Matic and just send it directly to your Matic network without passing through any centralized systems. So there's so much that needs to be built. An entire ecosystem has to be built around. I mean, we've made a lot of progress since 2016, where it was rocket science doing this stuff. So everything right now I'm talking about is development in the last, I think, 1.5 years. All of these things you're looking at here have happened in the last 1.5 years. So cryptocurrencies are moving at a very fast pace. So in the next few years, everything about it should be easy. But right now, you kind of have to go through a 3 or 4 or 5 step process to actually do and get what you want. So for example, as I said, you have to buy the tokens from either Paxful, Binance, or Bitlipa, send it to your Ethereum address. From your Ethereum address, migrate it using the Matic bridge, this one. Then once you migrate it from the Matic bridge, you have to send it. Once you migrate, now you can use, what is it called? Something like QuickSwap to do the swaps, or even like use all these other, what is it called? DeFi platforms.
Awesome. So I can see Linton already pointing us to a BSC Matic bridge called Expollinate. That I've had it's a bit not perfect, at this point. So use it with caution. The other question here is, how do you compare Comp and Aave as lending DeFi platform?
I think they're the same. The difference is Comp is not yet in what is it called? Compound Finance is not yet in Polygon. So they're kind of restricting themselves. I mean, eventually they might move to what is it called? To Polygon, or maybe create another version of themselves in Polygon. But right now, the only lending platform available in Polygon is, I think it's Ev. There's another one called, I think, Easy Finance, something like that. Oh, I think Easy Finance is a version of Compound. I'm not certain, honestly. Let me just contact here. I think it is this one. So let me find the website. Yeah, easyfee.network. So remember, like, I think the thing to keep in mind is cryptocurrency projects end up being open source. And when they're open source, what actually means is that somebody can go and copy the entire, what is it called? Code, replicate it in another platform and deploy it. So for example, this Easy Finance is literally the same, is Compound, code at the backend, replicated with, and then given a different interface, and then also given a different token. So if okay, there's the notice. Oh, so this one, I think they were hacked or something like that. Security breach. Yeah, I think they were breached. So like you see, like here, I think they modified the code because Compound Finance has never been breached. So these guys technically modified the code, and then I don't know for what purpose, honestly. Remember, like these protocols sometimes have some maliciousness, so you should be always cautious in the platforms you use. So for example, I think because Ev is the same company that duplicated itself across what is it called? It's a platform that duplicated itself across the networks. So it's in Ethereum network and it's also in Polygon network. And then Easy Finance just copied Compound Finance and then made their platform and then changed the code a bit. So they kind of made themselves vulnerable. But Ev and Compound Finance are technically the same. They do the same thing. I think the major key difference between Ev and Compound Finance is that Ev has this thing called, you can either set to have a stable interest rate or a variable interest rate when you're borrowing. Not like when you're lending. When you're lending, you're given, so if I go back to, for example, I think it's Ev version 2, you'll see that usually it has two interest rates. Let me go to market. So in market, you'll see that, where is it called? Yeah, here. So you see, DAI has for depositing or basically lending to this platform, you have a stable what is it called, interest rate. So 12% and then 3.35% in that, and what is it called, F tokens that you'll actually earn. But now when you're borrowing, you can borrow either using two interest rates that you actually want to have. So now you can borrow with the 16%, which is it's constantly fluctuating depending on the demand and supply. So like right now, when it's this side, it means like DAI is kind of like in high demand, and sometimes it can even get to 50% and so forth. But if you don't want to get to 50%, you can just say borrow with a stable what is it called, interest rate. But usually stable interest rates are technically higher than variables because variables fluctuate and sometimes they are lower than even the stable ones. But if you don't want to face like those fluctuations and you want to know that when the year finishes, my interest rate will be either 24% or 14% or whatever this interest rates here you have below here. So that's the major key difference between like Compound Finance and, because if I could go to Compound, you'll see the Compound doesn't have that what is it called, mechanism. So I think markets, yeah. So you see, even in Compound, it just has the supply interest rate and the borrow interest rate. It doesn't have like the same way in Ev, it has it has the deposit, which is the supply interest rate, the borrowing interest rate, and then there's variable and then there's stable. Compound just doesn't have both. Yeah, it only has two, for supply and borrow. That's it. Awesome. That's the major difference. But they technically do the same thing. They are both lending and borrowing platforms. And then in Ev, you earn Ev tokens, and of course in Compound, you also earn what is it called, Comp tokens.
All right, there you have it, George. I think that was from George. Good question. John is asking, how does over-collateralization work in practice?
It's pretty much okay. Okay, for clarity, are you asking generally in your address or just generally as a platform? Okay, I'll try and answer it from a platform standpoint, right?
All right. I think that question was typed in when we were using my.finance actually. So
yeah, that's why I think I've gone back here to actually just, let me just reload. Okay, so this is a good example. Remember, I think I started at 200 and something, 205% when I was creating this vault. What you've noticed here is that my collateral debt ratio here, let me just increase the size. If you notice here, my collateral debt ratio has gone down. It was 205, so right now it's 196. If I click this liquidation details, the current market price is 1.62. My estimated liquidation price is 1.24. Now, for me, over collateralizing means that you've borrowed a lot less than you've deposited, meaning that your collateral debt ratio is really high. It's like maybe at like a 300%. I don't know if we can get it to 300%. Let me just, if I have, no, I don't have, actually, I have the tokens, but I have to, yeah, actually that's a good example. So let me just go back to the first wallet and like show you like a real demo. So I think I had some, I had some DAI, and then let me just reload. Yeah, so I wasn't in it. So I had some DAI. Then I can borrow, what is it called? Not borrow, I can, or even I can just, let me just do this. Let me deposit the DAI and borrow against it. So that actually, that would be just like a, because I don't want to change to that from DAI to, so I want to deposit, So I'll deposit like $1,000 worth of. So this is just pretty much like reiterating what I did before. So you can actually just recheck. So I'm depositing 1,000 DAI, so I can actually, what is it called? Borrow against it. Also, I think just by depositing, you'll see something. I'll actually demonstrate something you'll see here. So let's just finish, then I can go back to my dashboard. Okay, so like right now, you see my health factor is 1.35, 1.37. So meaning I'm in the warning zone. Meaning that like if, for example, like if ETH went lower in price to the point where it got to 6, I mean, like I'm pretty much like I'm 35% closer to like what is it called? To being liquidated. Now, when I deposited my DAI, you see DAI has added itself here, but also something has changed. My health factor has moved from 1.35 to 2.68. So now it means that you see my deposit composition versus like the amount I've borrowed. So my current, you can see here my current LTV, basically loan to value, basically the value I have and the loan I've borrowed. So it means that I have 2.68 more deposits than the loan that I actually borrowed. So if you look at here, this is like $1,000, this is $2,000, and then I borrowed 600. So it means that that's roughly like 3 point something, but I think usually they do the math slightly different. But what actually happens is you've seen that it's changed from 1.35 to 2.68. This is now what it's called over collateralizing. So is it a bad thing? No, it's actually a really good thing, meaning that you actually reduce the possibilities of you being liquidated. Like you drastically reduce it like in a very heavy way. So for example, if you see here, the borrowing power now, my borrowing power has shifted from, I think it was roughly 60% to 38%. To 38% used, meaning I can borrow technically 60% more. But if I don't need to, if I'm okay staying in this position, then it means that I'll have reduced drastically the amount or chances of me being liquidated when the market is very volatile. For like example, one day when you wake up when the market has moved down by around 50%, in this position right now, I won't be liquidated at all. But if I was at 1.35, there's a high chance I would have been liquidated. So that's something that you need to watch out. You usually want to over collateralize so that like you reduce drastically the amount of chances of you being liquidated. So if I go back, for example, to what is it called? If I go back to what is it called here, you can see that this vault position is pretty risky. I am just pretty much almost like, because for example, this collateral debt ratio should never get to 150. So I'm technically roughly 40 something, 45 away from it, 46 away from it. And the movement between Matic from 1.62 to 1.24 is pretty much, what is it called? What do I say? This is pretty close. Like this is roughly like 30 something, 30 cents or 40, 40 cents. So 40 cents out of 160. Meaning that Matic has to move down by 20%, and then I'll end up being liquidated. But to avoid this, what I can just do is just go back and deposit more. I can just go like find more Matic to deposit. Then when I deposit more Matic, you'll see that the ratio will actually, this is the wrong wallet. I don't know why it keeps connecting with this every time. Oh, because I'm here. So for example, like if I deposited more Matic here, for example, I don't have any more, I just have one more, honestly. But if I found more Matic and deposited here, you'll see this collateral debt ratio will actually move up. So it will move from 196 to like maybe 250. If I deposited, like for example, another, actually, let's just do this instead of talking, because it's a practical. Let's just find, let's borrow. So I can go to markets, Matic. I'll borrow like maybe like 200 Matic. No, it's borrow. Yeah, borrow. So I can just borrow like 200 Matic, or maybe 300. Yeah, that's not bad. As you see here, it's me a new health factor. So technically, I'm not, I haven't under collateralized it. It's just that it has a lower rate. When it's under collateralized, when the ratio drops to one flat, it means that technically my vault is under collateralized. So now I move into a position where I'll be liquidated, and that's like what is called as that is what is called under collateralization. So now I think once I've borrowed this, I can just let me just switch to this, send this to this address, the new one. Yeah, I'll just reduce it by 1,299. Okay, so this should be quick. Yeah, send. So once, okay, so now I have this vault. Let me just go back. Okay, so now you'll see that I can deposit. Yeah. So I can deposit for. You'll see this ratio actually change. So right now it's 198, but if I deposited the Matic, actually deposited on. So, oh no, I deposited 300. Okay, fine. It should have been deposited by now, I guess. Yeah. Okay, it's changed. So I don't know. I might just have to reload for you to see the change. So it should have moved from 198% to around, I think, 250, 300. I'm not sure. It will tell me, yeah, 361. So this is technically now over collateralized. Now, if we go back to the liquidation details, you'll see that, remember my liquidation price was 1.24. So I've pushed down the liquidation price to 0.67, meaning Matic literally has to drop. This is by more than 70%. The current price of Matic has to drop more than 70% for me to get liquidated. And chances of it dropping by 70% is like in a bear market. Right now we are still in a bull market, and the market corrections are roughly between 20 to 30%. So meaning this vault is pretty much over collateralized, and it's a lot safer than any other vault if you created like vaults with like lower collateralization ratios. So that's pretty much it. I think I hope I've answered that clearly.
Yes. And just on close to that, special one is asking, during liquidation, is the whole amount being liquidated or the 10% you had stated?
No, they liquidate the amount you borrowed. So for example, if this ratio went below 150, from like 360, so for example, if Matic fell to the price of 0.7, because I had borrowed my debt, my debt is $300. So they sell only $300 worth of Matic, but also take 10% as a liquidation, what is the penalty? So consider the liquidation penalty like a fee, like they're like, you've caused us to liquidate you. We'll charge you 10%. That's pretty much it. So they'll charge you the 10% from your Matic, but also they'll take $300 worth of Matic from your account. So they'll just take the amount of money you borrowed, which is 300%, and then they'll take 10% as a liquidation penalty fee.
All right. So I think we're going now into going almost to 2 hours on this, and I'd like to take a question from Mike here, who's asking. Mike asks, last time it shared a site showing us many liquidity pools that could earn you high interest rates. What was that site? And I'm more like it. And also on that note to add, what sites or where can people look to maybe stake their USDT other stable coins for good yield?
Oh, actually, because thank you for asking that. I almost forgot this. So there's a site called Polygon dot, I think it's Beefy. So if you've used Binance Smart Chain, Beefy Finance is also here, like in Polygon. So this is the Polygon version of it. Now they have the if you know Yan Finance, or pretty much it's a hedge fund. It's a decentralized hedge fund. It's places where it's let me just go back to Yan Fund. Yeah, this one. Their token is called YFI. It's the pretty much like they only have like a very small supply, like I think 366. So right now I think it's roughly $80,000 a single one, or 71. So they have this, like their supply is like 366,000. So this specifically is used for optimizing yield. Pretty much it. If you go to the where is it called? If you go to their vaults, you'll see that you can deposit single-sided like USDT, the Bitcoin. You can deposit your Bitcoin only. You don't have to pay it with anything else, or you can do it your loan. So now in this case, Beefy is the same thing. So Beefy is in Polygon. For example, so I think I had a few DAI left. Oh, this is actually really high. This is nice. So like I think I had like $2,000 worth of DAI. I can go here and then deposit. I technically have to approve because I've never interacted with it before. So I just have to approve it. And then you can, let me just scroll slightly below, you'll see other ones. So you see, for example, my Ethereum locked in EV is earning, this is 1.8, 2.4, so around 4%, roughly 4%. But if I came and deposited here, this is 17.15. So it's just much better to withdraw my, what is it called, my tokens from EV, and then the Ethereum I have from EV, and then deposit it, what is it called, and deposit it here. Because I'll earn 17%. It's just a lot more. The only difference is here, I wanted to borrow against the Ethereum. So that's why learning and borrowing protocols matter. But if you didn't want to borrow against your Ethereum or your DAI or your USDC, what actually happens is you can just go to this one, polygon.beefy.finance, deposit your Ethereum here, approve, and then deposit your Ethereum here. And then remember, as I said, it's in real time. So for example, if I go back to, where is this? Not this one. Yeah, if I go back to this one, you'll see, I think we had started at 0.0 something. I don't know why it's not loading. Let me just reload. Yeah, you see. So technically, what we were just discussing, I've earned 0.039 tokens. I don't know how much this is. Let me just try and convert it to dollars, 2.3. So I've earned, I've earned 8 cents. Not bad anyway. So where is it called? Yeah, Beefy. So now I think the support, yeah, there's this USDC, which is 39%, and then there's DAI, which is 44%. So if I deposited it, I think I approved it. So I can just say like I want to deposit like $1,000. And then I just deposited. I hope I can remember like all these platforms I've actually put money into. As I said, it can get confusing. So that's why you usually like, I usually log it down in a notebook to just keep track of all the things I'm doing. Because this freedom of movement with no KYCs, with no questions asked and identity, might get you actually really confused. You might have money in so many places that you even have no idea where everything is. So yeah, so you see, I've deposited $1,000 here. If we did come back in a short period of time, you'll see that it should have changed from, I think it is 99976. So it should have changed to like 1,000 flat or something like that. Or even in real time, it just change in front of our faces. So this is like Beefy Finance is where you can single-sided, like you can stake single items. So you can see here. Specifically, I've limited it to one thing, but now you can if I open it up now, you can see other yield farming opportunities. It's just that I think I selected EV, so it just gave me a single side for all of them. But now if I say all of them, you look at the other opportunities. So we have Krill USDC. So this is pairing. So I think the next thing I can do is just go back to QuickSwap, something I didn't demonstrate. In QuickSwap, not only because how it works is by it allowing you to be able to swap from one token to another. It's the same thing as I said, like in Car Finance, this one. People come and deposit their money. that then it allows the platform to actually be used. So if you go back to QuickSwap, and then I go to like the rewards section now, you'll see, if I scroll below it, you'll see areas where you can actually create pairs, and you'll actually earn from it. So right now, I think we have, oh, this is actually a good one. You see, no, this is at USDC. I'm looking for like dollar to dollar pairs. Yeah, here we are. So this dollar to dollar pair, this is USDC and USDT. So technically, I'll earn 42.3938%. This is rewards plus fees. Then rewards alone is 28%. So within the year, I'll earn more 42%. So if I click deposit, you'll see that I have to add it as liquidity. So this is technically creating a pool. So when I click here, you'll see that I don't have any balances in my pool. So what do? I just go back to what I had. I think I have DAI. So I'll swap $500 worth of DAI into USDC, $500 worth of DAI into, wait, I should have DAI. Oh, is this wrong? This is the wrong address. This one is, I think, is the one that has it. Yeah, there we go. So I'll swap $500 worth of DAI to USDC. I can either use this one, or I can just like, remember, like what you need to look at is the price impact. If it's very low, then you don't have to worry about it. But usually if you're swapping stable coins, you'd rather use this one, like the car finance one. The other one is for tokens. So for example, like I can try swap, not 500, I think $500 worth of, yeah, for a lot less slippage. It should have popped up here. I reject that one. I think it's not working. I had a pending transaction before. Just a second. Sell, convert. Then I'll swap the other 500 into USDT. Yep, max. Sell, confirm. As you can see here, the transaction costs are just pretty much negligible. This is like 4 pennies. Okay, so now I don't think I have any more DAI left. But now it allows me to go back to this place, and then where is it called? The reward section. I scroll and find the pair I actually wanted. This one, USDT, deposit. Then to tell me like I don't have any, so I'll just have to create the pairs. So I'll pair this one and this one. Okay, no, let me just pair that one. Yeah, and then I'll supply it. And I close. So I'll just wait for a few seconds. I should have supplied. And then like I'll use, as long as you deposited the equal amounts. I've used stable coins, but when you deposit different, like Ethereum and USDC, you're subjected to something called what is it called? Let me just reload. I think it failed again. So instead of like doing this like this maths here, where I was like 60 cents per day, this one will constantly tell me, okay, so I don't know if it will. It's failing again. Failing again. Anyway, I don't know why it's failing, but usually, like for example, if I go to, let's see, let me just take you to another one. Let me change the addresses to this one, and then we can go Polygon. I think we deposited in my, yeah. So usually, like instead of guessing, you can just use this platform, VFAT tools, and then you can go to the right chain. Then usually, if you scroll to the bottom, it will tell you exactly how much you're earning. So for example, it's telling me like right now with the my this one. Yeah, with this, let me just connect. I don't know why it's not connected, but it's fine. But pretty much is I'm earning. I'm taking a total of $300 at an average of at an average APR of 344%, which is really, really high, honestly. There's nothing in the real world that will actually give you this. But also there are risk factors around it. I've actually explained a few. And then it's telling me like in estimated daily earnings, that will be roughly $3 per day, and per week $20. And per year it's, what is it called, $1,000. Remember, this percentage will fluctuate. So right now it's 344, but if more people stick, or if more people yield farm, the percentage just keeps going lower. But usually it's technically still higher than traditional markets, where you're getting between 6 to 15% maximum. And also they don't pay daily or even hourly. They pay, I think, every 3 months or 6 months or even every year. So you have to wait for the interest rate, compared to cryptocurrencies where I've told you like this is just happening in real time. As you see here, I can just harvest this, I can just withdraw it. So I can just like click withdraw and then it will work. That's it. I mean that's pretty much it, I guess.
All right. So I think we've touched on the major questions posted
So
here.
oh yeah, so I think I've added to the liquidity pool. So that should be fine, I guess. So I should be able to see it. Let me see. Oh yeah, actually it showed me, sorry. I reloaded. Let it load. Oh yeah, so here we go. So my liquidity pool is 998, and then we have, okay, I don't have any tokens to claim right now, but I think maybe in a few minutes I should be able to claim something. I'm not sure.
Awesome. So Eugene, we hope you'll remember all the position you're holding.
You know, right? I'm like, what are like, and I'll just find them. As long as I haven't closed the tab, they should be good.
All right. So I think we've maintained an average of about 95 attendees for this session. So this was a quite high value session for us. And some people got locked out because of the 100 limit, but we'll post this video up in the socials, and you can look back at it. If you have any questions, I think Eugene's handle was shared by Admin Mitch. You can also reach out to, I think Admin Mitch, you can repost the handle, Eugene's handle. Also reach out to BitKE directly, and we'll answer some of the questions you have. So Eugene, I think at this point, really like to pass my thanks. And I'm sure everyone here has, as always, come out of this with much knowledge, and dare I say, even much more intrigued by this space. Others I know were really, if you're quite new to this, you didn't really maybe grasp the concepts that much. So of course now it's up to each and every one of us to go ahead and do some more research and more learning. I think, Eugene, these days you're holding spaces on Twitter, right?
Yeah. Mostly on kind of on a weekly basis now.
Nice. So reach out to Eugene there as well, and check out the topics he's discussing. So, Eugene, do you have any parting words? Right?
Nope. Just DeFi is the way. DeFi is the way, definitely. There's a lot more opportunity. Yeah, there's a lot more opportunities here in DeFi. It's just insane. I've just showcased probably 4 or 5 ways of actually. I mean, these are the most popular and the most common ways to technically earn from your tokens, or find ways to earn from tokens. So if you're, for example, even like this one from QuickSwap is very safe, because this is like USDC, USDT pairs. Oh yeah, so I'll technically earn like some of these tokens per day. So like, for example, you've seen that this is like roughly like maybe 50 shillings per day. I mean, the issue right now is the bridging. I think once the bridging problem is solved, then it'll be a lot easier for people to like make money from this using small amounts of money. Because for example, you've seen like what $1,000 can do. It can allow you to sustain yourself, feed you sometimes from like day to day. Because if it's giving you $1 or $2 per day, that amounts to something compared to like banks which just won't, like, I mean, it just won't count it. It won't count. I'm not against them. It's just that traditional systems now currently have almost negligible interest rates. It's just become a place to store your money, but not to earn from it.
Indeed.
So yeah, DeFi is the way.
Definitely. And also, I'd like to encourage the newer people not to take the steep learning curve as a bad thing, because that's also where the advantage comes in, right? So people come to these systems earlier on, and they have to do things manually and try and figure things out. But a lot of people also give up, right? So you're not able to access the gains that are there because you're in early, right? So try and get in early. Use community, crowdsource for knowledge. And
yeah, definitely. This what is it called? Definitely these opportunities will definitely evaporate over time. Like these percentages are still high because very few people are actually using DeFi. So like right now is the time to grasp these opportunities before like the percentages go back to traditional ways. Because I think in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll have like 10% because there'll just be so much money in the system that like that's exactly what happened like in the real world. Like there's just so much money moving around that the percentages lower. The more people use capital efficient systems, the more the percentages go lower. So right now, these opportunities will drain away in the next 4 or 5 years. So right now is the time to actually maximize the returns.
Exactly. So do the homework, use the community to your advantage. Eugene is reachable. He's accessible, so use him as well. Throw him a question, and I'm sure he'll answer it. So thank you, David, for hosting us. As always, thank you, Admin Mitch, Admin Luis, and thank you everyone for showing up. We'll post the video in the social. So let me say, have a good day and enjoy your weekend.